All right, what's up, guys? This is J-Dub with another awesome, great episode of Clogging Up the Airways. Tonight we've got a special guest, Adam Roorbach. He is the Kansas Athletic Commissioner. He's going to be fun to talk to. We've got him, and then we've got a couple other guests coming up this week also. So without further ado, let's get Adam on here. Adam, what's up, man? How's it going? Got a little bit of a technical issue. Give it a chance to catch up.
You keep freezing up on me, man.
Yeah, it's freezing up too. It'll give it a chance to catch up here. And timing out a little bit. Guys, we'll give it just a second to catch up here. I don't know. We're having technical issues. I will keep you entertained until then. So Adam is the athletic commissioner here in Kansas, where I live. They are kind of on the cutting edge of like I would say the U.S. when it comes to some of the more edgy. I wouldn't say edgy, but some of the more so bare knuckle fighting. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Bare knuckle fighting is kind of like I believe that Kansas is some of the first states to legalize, not that it's illegal, but to allow it to have it sanctioned in the state. I don't know. It looks like we don't have him back yet. As soon as we get Adam back, we'll cut to him. Anyway, so bare knuckle boxing, another cool thing that Kansas is doing that is fairly cutting edge, in my opinion, is okay. Let's see, we might have him back. He's okay. So anyway, one other thing, we'll have him back here in a second. I'm sure his connection's trying to catch up here. Okay, there we go. It looks like it's fairly decent. It says I am backstage. Yeah. Okay, Adam, can you hear me?
I can. Kind of cutting out a little bit, but we'll get through it.
Looks like it's catching up a little bit. Sorry, guys. There's a little bit of a connection issue. I'm sure everybody's dealt with that. We're on dial-up internet at my house, so that could be the problem. I'm totally kidding. We're not on dial-up. I got fiber optic. Anyway, Adam, so as I was telling, I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but I was saying that, Kansas is on the, I would say the more progressive side of athletic, so I was just speaking about bare knuckle fighting being sanctioned in the state. I don't know how many states are sanctioned bare knuckle fighting. Do you know?
Well, we're the only state that actually has bare knuckle fighting as its own sport. I think there are 5 other states that allow it, but they have kind of found loopholes in their current combat sports just to allow it. But we were the first state to actually make it its own sport. We went through the entire legislative process. So we were first to do that. But there's probably 5 or 6 that are allowing it. And I think over the next few years, you'll see a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very popular sport. It's I didn't know that. That's good. That's informative. I didn't know that we were the first. Another cool thing that the Kansas Athletic Commission does is they do live scoring. So the contestants, I just had an opportunity a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, to for the first time actually participate in a match where there was live scoring. So I knew right away that I was winning all 3 judges 10-9 in the first round, which was super awesome. So, Adam, tell us about that, and then we'll loop back into the bare knuckle thing.
Well, I mean, I come from outside the fighting world, as you and other people remind me when you're not happy with me. But I've always
I'm a
wondered
big
why.
baby. You should know that.
Oh, nothing but love, JW. I've always wondered, kind of as an outsider to this and a fan, as why don't fans and fighters more so the fighters know the score of the fight? I mean, the only reason I have a job is because people like you get in there and fight. The only reason you promote or have this show is because there are fighters literally putting their lives on the line, careers on the line. What the least we can do is just tell them what the score is. I mean, it doesn't affect the fight from what we can tell from the numbers we've done. I mean, to me as a fighter, I would want to know if I'm winning and losing, if I'm the one in there getting my head knocked off.
I
So we
think that
found a pretty good.
Yeah, go. I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue, go ahead and finish.
No,
So
once we decided it was something we wanted to do, Shannon and Invicta was great with also wanting to have us do it. It was finding the best way to implement it. And once we figured that out, it's been smooth sailing ever since. And everyone that's fought with it has absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah, no, I thought it was super cool. Yeah, it's. I think that I'm wondering. I think with I feel like it changes the way you fight. I mean, like strategy for sure, especially for the pros that are actually in there with a plan and have some kind of a tactics while they're in there and know how to implement and change their attack styles and whatnot during the fight. I think it's a huge factor. And it's I mean, on the positive side, in my opinion, it's a positive in pretty much every aspect I can think of.
Yeah, from the numbers we've been able to look at, I really thought that it would help the fighter that was behind. And if anything, it's actually helping the fighter that's ahead. And it's great to talk to a fighter that has been through it and yourself that was ahead. Because I think what it does is it emboldens the fighter that's ahead that what I'm doing is working. And so the other fighter might look up and say, oh man, I lost the first round. I need to fight harder. I pretty much think fighters fight hard all the time. And so, but if you win the first round or up 2 rounds, hey, what I've done the first couple rounds is working. I'm just going to keep doing it. And so, that's what we've been able to tell so far.
As a pro, like you're in there for, your plan is to, kind of, I don't know too many pros that go in there with just the intention to knock people out. I mean, I do. Of course I do in every fight, but I mean, like you implement a plan to go the distance, and that's the way you do it. Like that way, if you do go the distance, you know what you're going to do. Of course, you the primal instinct, and then just myself being one of the guys that always trying to hurt people with every punch, but at the same time, something that is a score. Something the score of, just like a basketball game, man. When it's time. Look, we need to turn the heat up right here, right now, or we're going to lose. I think that's a super cool. I just love it, man. I absolutely love it. I love being involved in it. I know my corner guys, both those guys thought it was really cool. Just nothing but thumbs up on that, Adam. I do think it is cool, and then the bare knuckle thing too, because that has brought a lot. That is, for one, that has brought a very, they're doing well. I mean, from what I can see, they're doing well. Bare knuckle fighting championship is doing well. I've had a chance to, we almost signed a partnership with Bare Knuckle for to showcase some fights for them on their app. On this June show, it didn't work out this particular show, but I mean, I wouldn't doubt that in the future we partner up with those guys. But anyway, it brings a very successful organization into Kansas, man, and brings in more revenue, more everything. I just wish that Wyandotte and Kansas City, Kansas would kind of ease up on the whole live entertainment thing right now, because I know there's a couple of venues there that we can use. That's kind of holding up, this side of the state anyway. I know Wichita's doing well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have no control over that. So. That is not within my powers.
Yeah, right. I know. So it's still everything's getting more loose. Douglas County is really cool. They're allowing 50% capacity. I'm as I don't know if the listeners here. Hold on a second, Ed. I'm going to share this on my main Facebook page. We'll get some more viewers. Share. I'm going to tag you.
Okay.
Anyway, fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't know, man.
Douglas
June,
County, 50%.
Yes, Douglas County, June 12th. So June 12th, we've got a great show planned. The fight card, of course, I won't be releasing that until a little closer to the show, but we're a little under 3 months out. And I could tell you that this is probably one of the better fight cards I've ever put together. I would say this one is right next to the Jason Witt one that I put together for the rain out that we had in Leavenworth. So I'm excited about this one.
That's good. Unfortunately, I was not at the rain out, so I was hearing about it all night.
No, that was fortunate. That was fortunate. It was a fucking nightmare.
I didn't want to say that, but I'm okay.
It was fortunate you weren't at that one. No, that was if anybody remembers, back in it's been 2 years. It's been 3 years.
I'm sure everybody that was there remembered it.
3 years ago in Leavenworth, Kansas, we had 2,200 people downtown. We had the entire downtown packed. Haymarket Square was packed with 2,200 people. Biggest live event Leavenworth has ever seen. And it freaking monsooned. We had 19 fights scheduled.
The sideways rain gotcha.
It was horrible. We were underneath the awning, and still there was 1.5 inches of water on the cage. We had the Kansas Athletic Commission out there with myself scrubbing down, trying to dry off the canvas. Yeah, it was crazy. It was. Anyway, this card is definitely going to. We got a comment. Let's check it out. Carlos Jr. He's one of my sponsors right there. Straight Edge Barbershop, top left. This is my guy. His puppy right there passed away today, so I feel bad for him. The rain out. This card is definitely up to the level that is. I mean, we don't have Jason Witt on there, but we do have some pretty good pros. We got Stephen Graham versus Jacob Aiken. I can't announce that because it has been announced. Adam, man, this is about you, not me and my show, bro. Talk about something, man.
You got to get your plugs in there.
What's that?
I think the main thing right now for us is live scoring. Another thing I think it's going to be a big deal moving forward, at least from the regulatory angle. Nobody ever likes to talk about the regulatory angle on anything, but I think we'll be weight cutting with what we saw on Friday with the UFC with the fighter passing out on the scale twice. So
thoughts on that?
Because I know forward, we could see some movement on that end.
Okay, so you've asked me a few questions, like you asked all the promoters in Kansas a few times. You have asked me questions regarding weight cutting and where my stance was on it, because you were looking to possibly implement a change. This has been a couple years ago. Do you remember this?
I remember. I have the refractometer right here on my desk. Yeah, I have the hydration testing thing right here on my desk because I was looking at it today.
Okay, so you've asked me a couple of times what I thought about that. I can't remember the specific questions, but you were thinking about you were wanting to implement a change, and you wanted to get some of the promoters that do regular shows in Kansas their opinion on the matter. Like, I think like your words were, will you back me on this? And I absolutely said, yeah.
Of course.
I don't
I know
remember
you
what
would.
exactly the details were, but it was something to do with the hydrating and the safety of the fighters. And I'm always for that. Being a fighter myself,
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I think yeah.
go ahead.
Hello? You there? Yeah, the problems we run into with doing any form of hydration testing is that a lot of the fighters are going to have to move up a weight class. And I think if you look at it realistically, that's going to happen. But you mentioned a fighter like a Jason Witt, who's now in the UFC. He would have fought at a higher weight class that night, and that wouldn't have done much for his career to fight at a higher weight class. And so until the whole industry is on board with things, it's going to be hard for one commission. A little easier to do live scoring because that really doesn't affect fighters' careers, but forcing them to fight a weight class or two higher would. And we would
So,
never do that unless the entire industry decided to. So we'll probably keep going on just trying to collect some numbers, and then hopefully some heads can sit down and figure something out, because man, that was scary what happened on Friday.
yes, it was, to say the least. For sure. Weight cutting. Yeah. Anyway, we got a couple of comments. Let's see. Excited for live MMA again. He's a big fan and sponsor. Thanks, Carlos, buddy. I love you, man. He's my barber too. So if y'all thinking that I look sexy, man, you can thank that guy. Anyway, I agree. It was scary. I mean, we've seen people pass out in that on the scales kind of like that before, but it hasn't been recently. So if everybody doesn't implement it, so let me try to understand where you're at with this, with what you just said. So if everybody doesn't implement this, so basically in Kansas, you wouldn't be allowed to cut weight, too much, because then you have to test for hydration, and if you're under that hydration test, then you've got a problem. So in essence, if you're fighting in Kansas, you and the other guy are both going to have to fight at a higher weight against the same guy. Just you're not beating the shit out of your body cutting weight. I mean, that to me doesn't seem like anything but a safe way to fight. But I think the disadvantage goes to the 20-somethings that can cut 45 pounds for a fight.
Well, I think fighters are all very competitive, and two guys that walk around at 170 both think they can cut down to 155 better than the guy they're fighting, and that they'll have the advantage, instead of just saying, hey, why don't we just fight at 170 and have a great fight and put on a good show? And it's part of the culture. It's part of what makes the sport what it is, and we certainly don't want to take that away from anybody. But we would not move forward with any form of hydration testing until it was done industry wide. So that's not something that's coming anytime soon, but it's just something that's getting looked at our level.
Well, and
we're probably a good year to year and a half away from something like that. So you guys have a lot of time.
So question, Adam. So you and I. So USA Boxing has kind of a nationwide regulatory system. Is that how I understand it?
Yes.
MMA goes by the state.
It does.
So so this makes it tougher for making rule changes, doesn't it? Wouldn't you say for safety or whatever reason?
No, USA Boxing is only for amateur boxing. So,
right.
Professional boxing is still left up to the states. There's the Ali Act, which protects fighters on a financial level, and some other things, just regulatory that we have to do for boxing that we don't for MMA. But we do them for MMA anyway, because it's in the fighter's best interest. But until the federal government steps in and says, we want to have something to do with MMA as well, that is pretty much left up to the states, and one state can do
unless
something.
All the states get together and make some kind of a organization that oversees all.
Well, we have one of those. No, some states don't want to be a part of it or do the things they agree to. So here we are, where every state can kind of do their own.
I agree. It is obviously
it's not great
right
for
now,
the fighters, but it is what it is.
It's tricky because I think that when you get especially places that being realistic, gambling's always been a part of this sport. You get in a place like Nevada. Obviously Nevada's a big gambling state. You're going to get I mean, the gambling part of this is another thing that kind of probably keeps it a little bit divided, in a sense too. Probably, I don't know. I'm guessing on this stuff. This is all above my pay grade. I love to put on shows. I love to fight. I love to entertain people. This is something that I just realized, over the course of the last about 15 years, that is entertaining is my forte. But the levels above that you have to deal with are out of my pay grade and my expertise for sure.
Well, some days I feel they're above mine as well, because I mean, Kansas is not Nevada or California or New York, but I think you hit the nail on the head that some regulators don't get, is that yes, these are fights, but it's entertainment as well. And
Yeah,
you saw the lion fight production. You fought on Bellator, you fought on TV shows. Those aren't fights. Those are TV shows that just happen to
yeah,
have fights on them. And
yeah,
so,
and it's
once you look at it from that angle, you start seeing things a little differently. Hey, why did my fight get flexed out? Why do I have to stand here for 10 minutes? You can complain about it, or you can cash the check the TV's paying you, and you can go on your way. It's a TV
I'll
show.
catch check. I'll catch the check every
I
day
know
of the
you
week,
will.
twice on Sunday.
I know. And all we ask is that the promoters be upfront with the fighters on, hey, your fight's been delayed 10 minutes. Just tell them. And promoters are really good at that, communicating with our inspectors, and our inspectors tell the fighters, hey, relax a little bit. You don't want the
It
fighters
hasn't always
getting
been that
rattled
way.
2 or 3 times. So,
Well, I've kind of prided myself on trying to make sure that the fighters get all the information that I have. I mean, I feel like that's in my experience, the bad experiences that I have had were before the days of sanctioning bodies controlling the organizations. The bad experience that I had were promoters not giving me all the information that they had, hiding it for one reason or another. Just it's dishonest, in my opinion. Ethically, it is your responsibility as a promoter to give each fighter every piece of knowledge that you have. Now, if they don't ask for something, don't give it. But if they ask, be honest. That's my opinion. Yeah, if you don't want to. Yeah, the thing is, like, you don't want to mismatch people. You want good fights, man. You want good fights, but it happens. But the biggest responsibility, in my opinion, is that you give them every piece of information that you have on each fighter. And if you do that, you'll be able to sleep at night. Anyway, I do. I have a problem sleeping at night when I feel dishonest.
well, that's good. That's good that you feel that way. Hopefully, you don't feel too dishonest very often.
Yeah, I don't. I try to, okay. No marriage jokes. I'm going to just shut up.
Please don't. Please don't. Not that kind of show. Have me on another time for that.
So. Yeah. We'll do Maury and Jerry Springer later.
Exactly. We'll do that.
Anyway, man, so moving on, so I do think that the bare knuckle thing is really cool. I have yet to see one live. I have actually been invited to participate in one. My coach has said no, because I have I need to get back in the gym. I've been going through a little bit.
Why don't you put one on your show coming up?
Zach and I, like I said, we thought about it. We had a meeting with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship about possibly partnering up with them and streaming some fights to their app. And their condition was that we put 7 bare knuckle fights on on our show. We declined on this particular one, but it wasn't because of anything other than me and Zach wanted to get a show done. Before we went and tried to do anything tricky.
Yeah, you could put a single bare knuckle on there, though. I think people would love to see it.
Yeah, but we don't. It's got to be in a boxing ring, right?
No,
we'll that's not.
In a cage. Yeah, we'll let you in a cage.
Oh, really? Okay, so I get it now. I get it now.
But, yeah,
okay, no, I get what he was saying now. So I was under the impression that it was the athletic commission had a requirement that bare knuckle had to be in a boxing ring, and
I mean,
I think it's his requirement.
that could be theirs for TV, but if you wanted to have
Yeah,
one
that's what it
on
was.
a single fight on a card, we'd have no problem with that. We want fights, man. We want guys to get in there and make money and put on a show. And if it's going to be in a cage, it's not ideal, but we would, as long as both the guys signed off on it, we'd have no problem with it.
Well,
It's
my
not a
partner is
safety
a little
issue.
bit of a traditionalist when it comes to MMA and fighting right now.
Understandable.
It's weird. It's kind of funny how I don't know. It's not really funny. I guess it's just ironic how when MMA was new, there was the traditionalist boxing. Oh no, this is not a sport. Da, 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 da. Well, now this bare knuckle thing has kind of came into play, and the MMA guys are kind of, and I'm one of them.
Oh yeah.
They're not so up on this change, and it's like, oh well, weren't we bitching 25 years ago about boxing? Yeah,
it's the new kid on the block, man. He's always
new kid on the block. We're not ready for change, man. And
no,
and us MMA guys are starting to get, this generation that I'm a part of, where MMA got its popularity when I was in my 20s. It of course has been around since 92, 25 years, whatever. It's a little older than that now, but the popularity hit hard right when I was in my 20s, where they started making it available for tough man contests and stuff like that, where a guy could go in and participate. And that trend hit hard, about 10 years ago, really, really hard, and got really popular really fast. Back then,
I think bare knuckles is going to go the same way. I mean, it is a chance for some, I want to say this politically correct, some more seasoned fighters to maybe get a payday later on in their career, doing a discipline that, I mean, you don't get hit as hard as you do in MMA. I mean, with no gloves or 4-ounce gloves, you're going to get hit harder with 4-ounce gloves. And so, it gives them a chance to get out there, get on TV, get a payday late in their career. And, if we can do that in a safe manner, I mean, that's what we're here for. So
100%. It favors guys that have participated in this sport that are my style of just kind of going there and brawl. And Zach, he doesn't admit he very seldomly ever compliments me, but he's like, man, it kind of suits your style a little bit. I think if we get you in there, you would excel at this. Yeah. So anyway, the guy that's not afraid to take a punch and loves to just bang with people. Anyway,
it's kind of funny.
It is a shit. I forgot my train of thought here. The sport itself is interesting, man. It's something I definitely am gonna do. I do need to get back in the gym steady, and before I go taking a fight. Of course, my coach won't allow it unless I do. So, but man, I forgot what I had something interesting to say too. No, lost it. Okay, Adam, man, we're coming up on 30 minutes, buddy. Man, let's any shout outs, anything like that you want to give, or any other subjects you want to hit before we cut off.
No, I mean, we want to thank all of the promoters that come. Lion Fight's new for us. We have 2 more Muay Thais coming up, and I got to be honest, it's the first time I'd ever seen it. I was a little skeptical. I was impressed. Those guys came.
Muay Thai's cool, dude.
Came to fight. It really is, and
dude, Muay Thai's cool.
I know we found a way to figure out how we could do it. And, here we go. The first show we get on UFC Fight Pass. We got some world-class athletes in there. And, man, did they put on a show. It was impressive. So I was super impressed by that. And the whole production team was great. I think Invicta's going to announce sometime this week some more shows coming up and the platform they're going to be on. So,
I wish that KC would just get their heads out there. I said Invicta was it's a big promotion that would come to
huge.
KC.
Love them.
Yeah. KC, it's like, come on, guys! Like, that place is so unorganized. I don't want to bash KCK, but come on, man! Like, the rest of the city is on board with all of this stuff. Let's go, dude.
In their defense, they're trying to keep people alive, so you can't fault them for that. We might disagree, but man, they're doing what they think is right.
I definitely don't want to put any opinions out there as far as the COVID thing goes. I'm on board with showing everybody respect, and the last thing I want to do is fucking kill somebody's grandma. So,
Yeah. Hey, I'm getting my second vaccine shot tomorrow. So I'm going to tell your whole fan base, get vaccinated if you can. It's
I agree, man.
that'll get us back
Let's
to
get
work
all
quicker
this
than
shit done
anything.
so that we can go on about our lives like normal again.
Absolutely.
That being said, man, thanks for coming on the show, Adam. Let's do this again, man. It's fun. It's always fun talking to you.
Hey, anytime, man.
All right, brother. All right, we're gonna cut you off here. Have
right.
a good one, man. Be safe. All right, guys. That was Adam Roorbach, the athletic commissioner of Kansas. Lots of cool things in Kansas. Adam catches a lot of slack from a lot of different directions. And I had a screaming match with Adam just the other day. He and I, we complement each other's high strung personalities. But Adam is actually a really understanding guy. These guys are doing cutting edge stuff. I fought more in Missouri than I've ever, than I fought anywhere. I got 60 fights, and I would say over half of those are probably in Missouri under Missouri's athletic commission. That's another great athletic commission right there. But Kansas has absolutely pushed the envelope on what, just being progressive when it comes to, fighting athletics when it comes to the commission and fighting. They have been cutting edge. They have pushed the envelope in so many different ways. Like the live scoring, I got to participate in a fight a week and a half ago, and there was live scoring during the fight, and I thought that was really, really cool. They were halfway. We went from round one to round two right away. They showed us that the all three judges had scored a 10-9, and I was in the lead. Also, the bare knuckle being allowed and being the first state. That was news to me, being the first state that to sanction bare knuckle fighting. So that's super cool. Even beat Nevada to the punch. So Adam is really pushing the envelope with stuff right now. They also do instant replay. That was implemented I didn't talk to him about that, but that was implemented in a fight. It decided the outcome of a fight, actually, on one of my shows a couple of, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, something like that, I think. Anyway, guys, so there is a show coming up. It is Apex Sports Entertainment. This is a brand new show. It is, I'm going to put up the banner for you guys. Bam. So this is coming June 12th to Lawrence, Kansas, Apex Sports Entertainment. This is a brand new, this is my brainchild here. And, this is, I'm partnered up with Zach Cummings on this. We are doing this show. Zach Cummings, my coach, my mentor, my, this is UFC fighter, Zach Cummings. He and I have teamed up to do this show. And probably more to come after this. We've got an amazing fight card. You can see Nick Grass, Stephen Graham, big in that area. Jacob Aiken also, he's got 20, pro fights in the area. Thomas Thatcher owns Lawrence Fight Club. Nick Grass is a teammate and my corner man at Bellator. So he and Zach cornered me. So this is a good show. Like, we've got some top level pros on here and some high level amateurs. So so if you guys, June 12th ain't got nothing to do, get with me. We'll get some tickets out to you. Also, we're looking for sponsors, and I'm also looking for a couple of things. Obviously, we're always looking for sponsors, but sponsors that want to get some sweet advertising. Like, we're looking to go big with this show. And it's cheap. It's very cheap advertising. Two, I am looking for somebody to head the food and beverage department for the live event here on June 12th. There will be a little bit of stuff required leading up to the event itself, but then it will be somebody to handle, like, hire bartenders. This is a management position. It's a lot of fun, and there is some opportunities to make some decent money too. So just give me a call, give me a buzz, message me on Facebook, whatever. We'll get to talking. We'll see if it's something that might fit. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end the podcast with that. I don't know, any questions? I hope y'all like the new studio. I've been setting it up for a couple days here. This is my place. I did have the electronic backgrounds or the green screen backgrounds that were freaking pretty awesome too. But I think that the live, background it works better too. I'm looking for a table to put in here. We're gonna start doing live podcasts. I'm gonna have people over to my place, and we're gonna do some stuff live, so it's not electronic over the phone bullshit. Anyway, peace out, guys. Get with me if you need any information on anything that I talked about for this podcast. This is J-Dub signing out for Clogging Up the Airways. Peace out, fellas, ladies, all y'all.